Here's something a lot of home service businesses don't think about enough. They work hard to get the lead. They pay for Google LSA. They try to show up. They try to get the phone ringing. But once the call comes in, that is where the job is actually won or lost. Because the lead itself is not the job. The call is the moment where the customer decides, do I trust this company? Do they sound helpful? Can they actually help me? So in this video, I want to walk you through exactly what your team should say when an LSA lead calls. This is the first thing. Answering the phone is not the same as booking the job. And I know that sounds obvious, but it absolutely matters because a business can answer fast and still lose the customer. Maybe the call feels rushed. Maybe the person answering sounds unsure. Maybe they ask random questions. Maybe they never move the customer to a clear next step. So yes, answer speed matters. But after the call is answered, the conversation still has to create trust and move toward a booking. This is the common mistake. The call starts with, "Hi, how can I help you?" And then the conversation just kind of goes wherever it goes. Random questions, no structure, no control, no clear next step. Now, I'm not saying that line is evil. You can say it. But if that is the whole system, it is absolutely weak. Because the customer may be stressed, confused, or comparing companies. So your team needs to guide the call, not just react to whatever the customer says. The goal of the call is simple. Confirm the problem, build trust, book the next step. That's it. First, understand what is going on. Second, make the customer feel like your business actually knows how to help. Third, move toward a clear next step. That could be a technician visit, an estimate, a scheduled appointment, whatever makes sense for that service. But the call should not just end with vague information. It should move somewhere. A better way to start is simple. "Thanks for calling. What's going on?" That line is not complicated, but it does two things. It acknowledges the customer and it puts the conversation into a clear direction. Then listen, do not rush them. Let them explain the problem because a lot of trust is built in the first few seconds. If the customer feels like they're being rushed, they may keep shopping. But if they feel heard, you have a much better chance of booking the job. After that, ask the right questions, not random questions, useful questions. What happened? Where are you located? How urgent is it? Have you had this issue before? These questions help you understand the job, the location, the urgency, and whether this is the right fit. And they also make the customer feel like you're actually paying attention. That matters because the call should not feel like an interrogation. It should feel like someone competent is trying to understand the problem and help them get the next step. This part is small, but it's powerful. After the customer explains the issue, repeat it back in a simple way. You can say, so it sounds like you're dealing with the main issue is whatever. That makes the customer feel heard, and it also confirms that your team understood the situation correctly. This is where trust starts to build, because the customer is not just looking for someone who answers the phone. They're looking for someone who understands what they need and can help them quickly. This is important. Do not sound unsure. There's a big difference between maybe we can send someone and here's what we can do next. The second one sounds more confident, more organized, more helpful, whatever. And that does not mean making promises you cannot keep, by the way. It just means giving the customer a clear path. If you have availability, say it clearly. If you need more information, say it clearly. If the next step is an estimate, explain that clearly. Uncertainty makes people keep shopping. Clarity helps them move forward. Where a lot of calls are lost. The customer has explained the problem. The team has asked the questions, but nobody clearly moves to the next step. So say something like we can send someone today, or the next available time is tomorrow morning. Would morning or afternoon work better? That last one is strong because it gives the customer a simple choice. You're not just asking, do you want to book? You're helping them choose the next step. And that can make the call feel much easier. Every single call should end with clarity. The customer should know the time, the price range, if that is possible, what happens next, and who will contact them. No vague endings, no, okay, someone will maybe get back to you, no confusion, because confusion kills. The customer should leave the call feeling like, okay, I know what is happening next. That is what a good call does. Then you need to track the outcome. Was it booked? Was it price shopper? Was it a bad fit? Was there no availability? Did they already book someone else? Do they need follow-up? Because if you're not tracking outcomes, you are guessing. You might think the leads are bad, but maybe the calls are weak. You might think the price is the issue, but maybe nobody created enough trust. You might think Google is the problem, but maybe the team is not moving calls to the next step clearly enough. Tracking gives you the truth. This is why phone handling affects your real cost. Same lead, better call, more booked jobs, that changes the math. You do not always need a cheaper results. Sometimes you need better conversion from the leads you already get. Because if more of your calls become booked jobs, your cost per booked job goes down. That is why the call matters so much. It is not just customer service, it is part of your marketing performance. And if you're not sure whether your LSA calls are being handled in a way that books jobs, that is one of the things I look for in a free diagnostic. No passwords, no account access, just the obvious call handling leaks and 2 quick wins. If your Google LSA leads are coming in, but not enough of them are turning into booked jobs, I can take a quick look at where calls may be leaking. I have for a free 30-minute diagnostic, no passwords, no account access, and it's not a sales call. I'll look for the obvious leaks in your LSA and lead handling process, show you 2 quick wins, and tell you what I would fix first. If it makes sense to work together after that, we can talk about it. If not, you still leave with useful insights. The link will be in the description and the pinned comment. And remember, the lead starts the opportunity, but the call often decides whether it becomes a booked job.